Hey honeys, Lisa here with hashtag 78 days and moving today into the court cards for the suit of wands. And not feeling particularly wandsy at the moment, although my striker for my Tibetan singing bowl has the dorje, the lightning bolt on it. So this is pretty wandsy. Pretty wandsy. It's really actually quite beautiful. But I'm feeling a little logy, full day, great day, but very full day. So, to kind of raise my own energy a little bit, I'm wearing my optimism sweatshirt in bright green, which for some strange reason my husband keeps saying that it's blue. But this is green, right? Right? I mean, you see that. Green? Yeah. Okay. And so this will be a fairly short video. There's a couple of things I want to point out. And actually, I at the last minute changed the deck that I was going to talk about tonight. I had been planning, I think either it was the Kitty Kahane or the Saki Saki, but I decided kind of on an impulse to bring in a Marseille deck. And the one I'm foregrounding is this really, really wonderful Piatnik 1984 facsimile version of the Convert. It's beautiful. So obviously it's out of print, but they come up on eBay. This is a particularly nice copy. They're not usually that spendy. And you have to love, as I do, historical decks. You have to be interested in the Tarot de Marseille. The colors are not, I mean, it's basically three colors. It's sort of, red and gold and green, and then the sort of the black gray kind of coloring with this creamy background. The backs are really simple, rounded corners. The cardstock is just, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful cardstock. It reminds me a little bit of the cardstock like on the Centennial edition of the Rider-Waite. It's got heft to it. It's slightly slick. It's very buttery, but it's still matte. Anyway, I wanted to talk about a Marseille deck today because the Marseille deck is very interesting and deliberate in the courts, in the way it shows each of the figures manipulating the element of the suit. So starting with the raw energy of the baton, and in this particular rendition we see that kind of rising energy, we see the flames really shooting off. And then the embellishments with the wands, the batons, are really particularly, I think, lovely. Very simple. I like this sort of the way that the intersection in the middle really feels kind of inset, like a basket. Okay, and then we move into the courts. So notice the hands and both the way the baton looks and the way the hands and the body are positioned. And we'll come back to the page in a second. So the knight is holding something that really feels the most like the element in the ace, right? I mean, and the knight is, this knight is fire of fire, right? The wands are the suit of fire. This knight is embodying the energy of the suit. Sort of one of those perfect, oops, did I just lose? Hold on one moment. There we go, okay. And notice the difference though now with the queen. We've got something that feels more refined. It's no longer such a rough-hewn piece of living wood that has the, the sense of the sprouts, the buds on the side, the sense of it being really just taken right from nature. Now it feels refined. And notice how she's holding, right, the baton. It's resting on her shoulder versus the king, who's now taken also that refined version of this wand that is now his scepter, and he's turned it down. And you really have a sense here, I think, in the way that his left hand, right, has moved here. You have a sense of, is that his right hand? Hold on, he's like me. Right, left, I get confused. Okay. It's his right hand. I'm confused because this is a mirror. Okay. So that sense of him in motion, plunging the scepter down. But let's go back to the page. Here's the thing about this guy, right? He's got this oversized, really large, it's almost like a staff that you'd use to hold yourself up, to move forward in the world. And he's holding, if you look at his hands, it's a really awkward way to hold this thing. I mean, he's smiling, he looks happy, but how he's positioned his body, so his back hand is up, right? He's twisted like this. So all I want to point out about that is to think about the ways in which the page in every suit for me, I associate the page with earth and with a kind of fundamental attentiveness, like just noticing, a kind of mindfulness, a kind of awareness of where we are in relation to the world, an awareness of the environment, an awareness of ourselves, that moment of inquiry and study that are essential for us becoming fully adept with the energies of the suit. So if you think about the quartz as progressively having a relationship of learning, and I don't want to use the word mastery because it's much more intimate than that kind of vision of control, but a kind of integration of the energy of the suit, then the page is at the very beginning of that. She is just learning what this energy is, right? Is just learning, here's this thing, I don't even know how to hold it yet. And her body is being kind of instructed by the wood itself, is learning like, okay, here's this big old staff. How do I hold it? How do I move? So there's a way in which of all four of the characters, the page is like, he looks the most awkward and uncomfortable because he's just starting out. He's just starting out learning how to make use of this vigorous, fiery, passionate energy that is at the heart of this suit. He's going to get confident. He's going to find a way to hold this with one hand, right? To turn it right side up so that it can become active. And then that comfort is going to enter a sort of spirit of refinement, which ultimately becomes that movement of power of the king. I almost see that as the sort of passing judgment, like thumbs down. I'm taking my scepter and I'm plunging it toward the earth. In a way, you can see the distance that the honor cards, the court cards, travel in looking at the ways in which both of these figures, from page to king, right, starting with the suit element, the wand, the baton, they're both upside down. But for the page, it's upside down because he has yet to even learn how to bring his body in relationship to the energy of the suit, whereby the king, he's in control, he's in command. This energy is something that he's fully integrated in his body, in his life. So just a little taste of how we can start to think about the court cards. The Marseille deck is particularly helpful in thinking about posture in relationship to the suit elements, but every tarot deck plays with the court cards in relationship to the suit element in that way. And so noticing how the beginning moments of the page, that moment of attentiveness, what is this thing, what is this energy, what is at the heart of this suit, how the page card shows us that moment of paying attention, taking care, paying heed, allowing our bodies, hearts, and minds to be instructed by this energy that we're experiencing, being instructed by the suit itself, by the fire of wands. So, how can we be instructed by this fire in the belly when it appears? It begins with just noticing it, just noticing where our own fiery energy is at this very moment. Right now, I'm noticing just the droopy drowsiness of my body, despite my optimism. So, I'm going to sign off and hit the hay hit the pillow. As always, I am so grateful that you're here with me, and I'm grateful for the work of your bodies, hearts, and minds that you take into the world, that you take into your family, into your community. All of that energy, may it feel delightful to harness the energy in your life. Take care.